Hello, greetings, and welcome to Live with Sujay, Headliners of Hope. Hope stands for Headliners of People on the East End. And I am excited, ignited, and delighted. Did I say excited to have with us the inimitable Bonnie Cannon, who is the Executive Director of the Hampton
Child
Care
and Recreational Center.
and Recreational Center. Welcome.
Thank you. We're known as the center.
Yeah, you are, and you are the center of a whole lot of things. You've been on our show with Celebrating Black Women Leaders,
Yes,
and
I
of
have.
course, we celebrate you. But you are a headliner here in this local area now. What you've done with Bridgehampton Child Care and Recreational Center
Yes.
has been amazing. So tell me how many years you've been now the lead?
Now it's going on 18 years.
18 years.
18 years that I have been there, and we have definitely grown over the many years from just this little child care center to being a full service community center. And
Wow.
with brand new buildings and more on the horizons. It's been wonderful.
Wow. So I saw recently a video, and I hope to share it with our producers, but it was a birthday video, a tribute from the people who work with you, the people you've served, the community. Just they were wishing you happy birthday, but in it they were thanking you for your tireless efforts. Because I see you encourage the young people to not just go to the next grade, but to finish college and to go for their dreams. I see you working with the parents to equip them. So what is a highlight for you? I mean, there's so many things that are going on, but what gives you the most pleasure in doing what you do?
I guess that changing lives, because we impact lives and changing lives, and being that my background actually is from the corporate scene prior to me coming to the center. And now I'm doing pretty much what I call service work, serving work.
Yes.
And basically to impact, to see somebody that you had when they were 5 years old, and now to see them grow up and to go off to college, and then from college to just basically to have their own careers and families and things of that sort.
But the loyalty about wanting to give back, they come back. I remember being at some of your events and they come back and they want to make sure the next generations will be blessed just like you did with them. And I think that that's so impactful when people like myself talk to them and it's off camera and they're like, this is what really helped make a difference in my life. So a shout out to you. I remember one of my favorite events was with the band this summer. You had the Latino.
Oh, the Gallo, yeah. We had the
Oh,
Jazz Soul Celebration.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Tell us who was here in 2025.
Well, we had actually we did a New Orleans. Yeah,
Yes.
we did the New Orleans, and this year we did the Latin American theme. And
Yes.
so next year we're going to do something, but it's all about, because the center is also about culture
Yes.
and history. Because
Yes.
you have a rich history there. And I always say that when people come on our grounds, number one, you're on sacred grounds.
Yes, you are.
Because it's a ground where there's a lot of love and a lot of history there. But also there's what I say is that you're going to get the blackness, meaning that you're going to get culture. You're going to learn about history, different
Yes.
ethnicities of history. You're going to learn about different foods, and you're going to learn about different educations and the way that
People
people
parent
do
and
things,
how
they
they
parent
do
and how they
things.
do things. You're
Yes.
going to get that wisdom from the generations, from our elders and our
Yes.
seniors, because we are a intergenerational center.
Exactly.
You have seniors there that are working, that
Exactly.
imploring wisdom, and then you have the young people that are working, that have came from college and they're back working with us. So you have this kind of this fusion in this
Yes.
mix.
That's a
there
great word,
that-
fusion.
Yeah.
Well, I wear my mother's pearls many times, my deceased mother's pearls, but your mother's still with us, and I just really love the relationship. Your mother's been there. I remember her helping to sell dinners to get the center to a certain point, and now she's really the tribal village mother.
Yes, she is.
You know.
Yes, she is. But she still works. She's still working. She's still
Wow.
serving. And so those are the examples,
Mhm.
that we have there. When you look at a mom that is 85 years old, she's 85 now.
Wow.
85 years old, and to know that she was retired. So she she was way retired way before, and she came down to help me out.
Oh,
And so
wow.
she's been there ever since, just instilled there. And now she pretty much runs our food pantry
Oh, my
that
goodness.
feeds like hundreds every week.
Yeah.
And then there are other seniors that come in and volunteer, and other people that come in and volunteer, and they just love Miss Gloria. And
Oh,
then
yes,
she
they do. And
and
I
then she
love Miss
cooks, and she
Gloria.
cooks too. She
I,
cooks for the kids, and the kids
yes.
respect her.
Yes.
And so you have that, that family, those things really.
And you have a son who was around just
Yes.
watching you and who wants to serve. And so you really have these three generations
Yes.
just loving up on people and people loving back on them.
Yes.
I mean, I see the respect and the revering of your mother. And so it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I recently went to a family reunion, which I'm so excited. My mother's side of the family was from North Carolina. And so I'm almost in the elder generation, but just sitting there with the two who are remaining as our elders in their 80s, and then the young people describing just really what you described. The honor to whom honors due, but also receiving and understanding we have to give to the next generation. And
Right.
it does not stop with us, but it continues. We're really the start and the spark for it.
It is. Just little things, because when I was growing up, my mom was from the South.
Mm-hmm.
And, my people are from the South, from North Carolina as well.
Yes.
And growing up in our culture, and I'll say in the Black culture,
Yes.
when you're speaking to a senior, you say Miss So-and-so or
That's right.
Mr. So-and-so.
Or auntie, but there's the level, you
but
put a
there's
title or a
you put
handle
a
on.
title.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's interesting because the kids, all of the kids and the youth that are there,
Yes.
and even some of the young adults, when they're speaking to,
Mhm.
myself, or even to Jenna,
Right.
who's younger than me,
Right.
everybody knows to say Miss Jenna.
Right? Oh, Miss Bonnie.
Miss Bonnie,
Yes.
Mr. Robert, Miss Gloria.
Exactly.
Mr. Harry.
And I love it. I love it, the respect. And that's why this area reminds me, and your center reminds me so much of my time in the South. I live in Azure Rest, which is a historically African American community. And then coming to your center, I'm just like, I'm at home. These are my people. These are my tribes, But you mentioned working in corporate America. What did you do before the center?
Actually, I have a degree. I have an MIS degree. I attended Howard University.
Yes, you did.
And so after there, I worked for about 17 years for Bell Atlantic, which was Verizon,
Yes.
as a programmer. I started out as a computer programmer.
Wow.
And then I became a systems engineer, and then I was a regional manager there.
My goodness.
And so I did 15, 16 years there.
Wow.
Yeah,
My
did.
first job out of college was Ma Bell.
Was it?
They used to call
really,
it Ma Bell.
really, okay.
So they used to have summer jobs. I was making more money in the summer as a high school and college student than my parents at the time. And they would give us car fare as well as this great salary. So, I mean, and then it, like you said, it became Bell Atlantic, then it went into Verizon. Yeah,
right.
but it was, it was the place that employed me for so many years as well.
But the one thing I can say about that place is that it instilled great work ethics.
Yes.
And that's something that, back there, that you had the work ethics and you learned that. And so just through my journey of things, through my family, through corporate, through, just life,
Yes.
I've learned so much. And just now we are, giving all of that back.
Yes.
And so I have a team of folks that are compassionate and passionate and loving about what they do. So many places you go, you can't find that. But each and every person that works at the center has a desire and a commitment, and they have that passion that they want to make sure that they impart to whoever comes on our grounds.
And I would add the word loyalty, which is a word this generation doesn't always know.
Yeah.
That they're loyal in terms of they understand what they've received. And so because of that, that passion is even sparked even more.
Yes.
And so that's really important because they're going to come back home. You don't have to worry about them running away or leaving. I was at Sylvia's restaurant, and one of the servers recently said, I've been here 43 years. She said, I came from an island, and Miss Sylvia gave me a break when I didn't have my green card. I didn't have my citizenship. She says, and so I said, once I got all that, and I put my child now through college, I'm a citizen. She said, I want to stay with this business because they gave me a break. And we were like, we remarked on the loyalty aspect. We understand what we receive.
Right. Yeah. When you enjoy it.
And when you enjoy it,
it's not hard to do.
Exactly.
And it's something that you do. So we say at the center, anyone that comes to the center, be that a youth, be that a senior, be that someone in need, if you leave, you're going to leave better. So we say
Yes.
you're always going to get better when you leave the center.
All
And
right.
so
I love
that's
it.
basically, if you need food, like I said, you're going to get better.
I like
you
to
know?
say with my organization, we could take you from good to great because I'm in communications.
Yes.
From good to great, and just really try to help you get to the top of whatever your top is in your life. And so we have that synergy and that similarity in life. So let me just ask you about not just the activities you're doing, but you have a vision. You're a visionary. You came in, it was a very small, I was on your initial board, not your presenters, your speaker series.
Yes.
And thank you for the opportunity.
And it was a little living room.
A little living room. But we gave the best
But you did, yes, you did.
But now, I mean, you have speaker series, you have Joy Reid, and you have some of the best in interviews and etc. So what's your vision from this point forward? So let me ask it this way. How far have you grown? Like from how many initial people coming in to how many you're serving now that you can actually track? And then where do you want to go?
When we first started, it was an after. When I first got there, there was an after school program,
Right.
and pretty much that's what it was, an after school program, and they had a summer program.
Right. We did a couple of days of summer camp.
Yeah. That's what it was, and so basically you asked me about the numbers, you would say maybe about 50 or 60 kids.
Yeah.
With both programs. Now, if you look at the people that we are serving, number one, we're not just serving youth now.
Right.
We're serving the entire community.
Yes.
So when you talk about the vision, when I came, I saw more than just a place to serve the youth, but also to serve the entire community.
Yes.
Because to be honest with you, for me to be successful with that youth or young adult,
yes,
I have to get involved with the parent. I got to get
That's
involved
right.
with the family. I have to know, is everybody, okay mentally?
Yes.
I have to see financially, what are we doing financially from a
Exactly.
financial literacy? Because that all, health-wise, we got to look at your health.
Exactly. And
your
what's
wellness.
preventing them from succeeding? And you have to
Exactly.
bring the whole village. More schools would be successful if they looked at that whole picture. That it's not just a parent-teacher conference, but what happens when that parent is not at the school? What happens when that child wakes up? Does she or he have breakfast?
Right.
All of those things. And you make sure that that happens both during, before, and after. Tell us a little bit of the history, though, of why even the Bridgehampton Child Care Center and Recreation Center began.
It began out of tragedy.
Okay, and what was that tragedy?
And basically, if you know anything about this, the Hamptons and everything, migrants or would come from the South.
Yes.
To do domesticated work, to work on the farms and fields, and we have a lot of potato fields here, corn fields. So they would come from the South.
Yes.
To work here.
Yes.
And there were migrant camps and things of that sort. And so what happened one day is that a couple were not at home. They were working, their children were there, and a fire, it was a small little shack, and a fire ensued. And two of the children didn't make it.
Oh my goodness.
And so out of that tragedy, this entire community, Bridgehampton community, came together, and it was actually a white doctor.
Yes.
That donated the land. Say the 6 acres that we're on there. They tell me there was a barn, and then there was the building that I was in when I got there, before I got there.
Yes.
And it was that was there. And this was to always be a safe place for children and families. And then in 1954, it was incorporated for the Bridgehampton Child Care and Recreational Center, and that's how everything, and they've been running, the center has been running for 70 plus years. So
Wow.
while I would like to take credit for, for where we've gone, but there were many that came before that actually, made this place a stay haven and a safe haven for children and families.
Thank you for that explanation of the history, because that's so important to understand. But those were migrant workers. Now we're talking about.
And we're talking about black, it was all black folks.
Yeah. And now we have a mix, because there are also others who work the land now.
Yes.
Who are Black, Latinos. And now we have almost a full circle, because now we have immigrants.
Yes.
And so it's a time of real tough, they're tough times.
Yes.
So how do you handle families that some may have to be secretive, some may have had a relative approached by ICE? What do you do to keep your integrity, but also to keep, the legality of what we have to deal with.
Well, when everything started, we have to do all the precautions from a secure standpoint
Hmm.
and to look at, the things that we need to do as far as from a security standpoint. We beefed up our security at the center.
Okay.
But we reach out to, experts that can help us.
Hmm.
We've had different organizations to come in to do the know your rights type
Okay.
of ceremonies, or how do you address and uh, put guardians in place if
Yes.
something happens to the
Yes.
parent, and get those documents in place. And then we actually have legal counsel
Okay,
that
and some
we
collaborations
refer.
also with organizations like OLA and things like that are in this area.
Ola, Super Maher.
Mm-hmm.
There are several other different organizations that we have worked with
Mm-hmm.
to come together and to actually, talk about what's going on. And the one thing that I want to remind individuals, because we do have a large Latino, population that's
Yes.
here, but we also have
Yes.
Haitian folks that are here, people that are from the Caribbean descent that are here,
Yes.
and we have all of that's here as well. And so it's a big issue.
It's a big
It's a
issue.
big issue.
And I want to
But
thank you for people that I know that I've had to refer, that just needed questions and answers, that you were there, and the head of OLA is also on our board for LTV. So it's just really good when we bring all the facets together, because there's partnerships and collaboration that also makes this community work. But you're a headliner in it and in our community. Where do you want it to go? If you could dream your wildest dreams, what's really happening right now, and then if you could make it your biggest dream, what would you want to happen?
my biggest dream is that, first of all, is that everyone knows about us.
Okay.
So that's the thing, and that everybody recognizes us as the center
Okay.
for, for the place for all needs, the
Yes.
place for culture, the place where you're going to, get educated. So when they come here, everybody will be saying, where is the center?
Yes. Yes.
We need to go to the center.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's the first vision. The other vision is that, they see us as a campus of resources.
Mhm.
We have some projects that I need to complete.
Okay.
And right now we're working on an indoor gym and pool.
I will say that again, because I'm a swimmer. You're working on an
Yes.
indoor gym and a pool.
Yes.
I love it. And so, your development team is helping to raise the funds for that.
Yes. We have some funds, but we still, we are still in need of funds for that. We do have a prototype of what the indoor gym and pool will look like,
Mhm.
but it's very important because when people think about indoor gym and pool, and especially if you say Bridgehampton Child and Recreational Center, you think about youth and having fun and swimming.
Mhm.
But there's more thought into it than just the indoor gym and pool, and especially the pool.
Mhm.
Because if you look at your black and brown populations, most of our black and brown populations do not know how to swim.
Exactly.
And then from an economic standpoint, especially even if you look at the diversity out here,
Mhm.
you can tell me, can you count the number of lifeguards and things that you have seen that are of the diverse community?
I can't count on one hand.
Exactly.
So and then things like water aerobics. Now that you're bringing the
Well,
family,
that's what I'm going, and
Yeah.
I was talking about, and then for our seniors,
Mhm.
and for our seniors, and talking about aerobics and exercise and being
Yes.
healthy. That's the other one, that health piece that
Yes.
we talked about.
Yes.
That comes in there, and for our seniors, that comes in there. So it's just not, a pool for
Right.
recreations. And then when we talk about the future, right now, what we don't know what's going to happen in the administration, but offshore wind
Mhm.
is something that, that is going to be happening, and that is going to create jobs and
Mhm.
careers for individuals.
Yes.
If you do not know how to swim, then
You're limited.
offshore wind,
Yeah.
offshore.
Right.
You can't even get in the water.
Right. You're on the shore.
You're on the shore,
Yeah, on the shore.
I mean, there are
Exactly.
other careers that you can do on the shore, but I'm
But
just
still, you
saying,
want to be able to
be
handle it
able
all and be
to
exposed to
handle
it all.
So
Definitely.
so we're introducing, this gym is very integral. So that's one thing.
Mhm.
Then we have a building in Southampton that we want to make that a career technical training.
Oh,
And
that would be
also
awesome.
for human services,
Mhm.
for human services for life coaching, social workers, and things of that
Well,
sort.
count me in when you get there to
Yes,
that.
yes, and
So what we talk a lot about, the show is called Headliners of Hope. And so I ask you, what are you hopeful about?
It's interesting that you asked me that question, because if you had asked me that question probably about 6 months ago, I would, I don't know how I would answer it. But things are pretty much happening so fast in my life and in the center's life. I am hopeful for, I'm hopeful for everything that I've asked for.
Okay, okay.
I'm hopeful for everything that I've asked for. I'm hopeful for seeing our folks, our people, seeing them to gain and to be uplifted and
Yeah.
to go to the next level.
I love it. You were the first black trustee, first black elected trustee of Southampton.
Yes.
Was that a lonely place?
It was actually, it was not a lonely place, but it was a place. When you're in those types of places, and you know that you're the one there, sometimes you need to, what I do is I sit back and I look and I listen and I learn.
I say this: listen before you speak, listen more than you speak, because you're learning in the process.
Right.
Yeah, some people are chatty Cathys and they're like going, and you're missing really the point of what's happening there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
love
learned. So when we talk about the journey and the different places that I've hit,
Yes.
I've learned a lot.
Yes.
I learned a lot just by being in that position, and that position has helped me on some things that I'm doing now.
I love it.
So
Yes,
for me,
exactly.
it was-
Everything leads to the other.
everything leads to
Because there's
another.
a season for this, and
Right.
you got to learn what you can in that season.
In that season.
Because another season's coming.
Yes.
And you're in that next season.
Yes.
So let's talk about seasons, succession, and legacy.
Okay.
Do you think about it?
I'm thinking about it more now, because I do see a trajectory that I'm going to be, I'm not always going to be at the center. But what makes me feel good is that I'm grooming a team that is going to be able to take it to the next level.
I love it.
And right now we're in a great place because we are transitioning and restructuring
Yes.
our organization. Before, you had me and my mom, and we were doing everything. And
a couple of volunteers.
And a couple of volunteers. We had, Cheryl and others that
But
were
you have
there.
a great board
Right,
now.
but we have a great board now. We have
Yes.
a great advisory board. But now we're restructuring, so now I can really be, as they say, the CEO. And now Jenna Solis, who used to be my assistant, she is now my chief operating officer.
Which is awesome.
And then, Lucas now is my development director.
Yes, yes.
And we have an interim marketing communications director.
I love it.
And so now the only thing is that is our CFO. So we're actually putting things in place and structuring things in place, so that we're at a point now where we're big enough that we have to do these things.
Yes.
But it's great, and I'm loving it.
Yes.
Because now,
otherwise you'll implode if you
Yes.
don't plan.
Yes.
So you can explode, but now you have some strategy.
Yes.
And some structure.
And structure.
So that'll
More
help you
structure
soar.
to help us soar.
Wow. So I say A plus B plus C equals success. What's your A, B, and C?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah, WOW is my organization. Women on the World Stage. That's WOW.
Right.
What's your
right.
WOW? A, B, and C.
That equals success. No, A for me is to be open. And B is to listen.
Okay.
Listen. And C is to, I'm very spiritual.
Yeah, I was going to say faith is a big piece of who
faith,
you are.
Yeah, so faith.
Yeah, yeah.
So faith. I'm pretty sure that there are more, but right now those are the three that come to mind.
Wow. So this is airing sometimes in fall 2025, and you're going to be honored as one of the Power Women of Faith in New York City because of your leadership and how much faith impacts what you do. Friday, October 17th, the
Yes,
Trailblazers and Unsung Heroes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, you were nominated by a whole pool of people.
Oh, wow.
And so we're going to be celebrating you. That's the Trailblazers and Unsung Heroes Awards, and you can go to thewowfactor.live and learn more about it, thewowfactor.live. And we're so glad. How do people find out about you? What's your website?
We can go to the center's website at www.bhccrc.org, and that stands for Bridgehampton Child Care Rec Center.org.
Say it one more time, the letters.
www.bhccrc.org.
All right, that's for Bridgehampton
Child Care Rec Center.
Okay, you got it here. You heard it here first. I'm gonna ask that they find this video that was done for your birthday because it just, for me, is so impactful in terms about the love that you give, but also the love that they want you to receive. And I think that that's so important. Last question: what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want them to say of you, Bonnie Cannon? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, what would you want said of you?
That I helped somebody,
Mm.
that I made a difference in their lives.
Wow. Dr. Martin Luther King said, if I can help somebody, was his favorite song.
Yeah.
As I pass along, then my living will not be in
Yeah.
vain. Well, your living has not been in vain. You have been awesome. I thank you for coming today on short notice. But,
Anytime.
you know, we're sister friends and we are so proud of you. So whether you're just a trailblazer honoree or just sitting in the studio, I want you to know we deeply love and respect you. Miss Bonnie. Her name is Bonnie Cannon, and she's been with me. I thank you for spending this time with me. This is Live with Sujay. I'm Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook, Susan with a Z, so you'll remember me. Stay tuned for all of our shows. Thank you for sharing with us. A shout out to our production team. As always, you're wonderful.